Quiñones taking on Boateng. He's got support here from Lozano. Cutting back inside, it's Lozano!
How good is this Mexico side actually? Because beat South Africa at home isn't exactly a personality trait. Let's get into the part that should worry every team left in this tournament. 105? That's how many line breaks Mexico completed against South Africa. 105 passes that sliced clean through a defensive line in a single match. That's not "we got a favorable matchup." That's a team that spent 90 minutes taking a scalpel to a back four. Cesar Montes, a center back, was completing line breaks like he's running the midfield, not defending it. And Quiñones, who's actually Colombian by birth and turned down a Colombia call-up to play for El Tri instead. Wild decision, in hindsight, led the entire team with 54 offers to receive the ball and went a perfect 12 for 12 on his own line break attempts. Zero mistakes. The guy was unplayable. Now, here's where it gets interesting, because the next match is where you actually learn who a team is. Not the blowout, the grind. South Korea. First half, basically nothing. 0.22 combined expected goals between both teams. That's video game on easy mode levels of dead. A complete stalemate. Then, minute 50, the Korean keeper comes flying off his line for a ball he had zero business going for.
Jimenez was trying to guide him. That was a good header behind him by Lee Gi-Kyuk, and the goalkeeper drops it. It's his and it's in! Mexico lead! Luis Romo! Terrible!
Totally misjudges it, spills it right at Luis Romo's feet. Romo doesn't even think, just lifts it into the empty net. Mexico got there first, while everyone was watching the bigger names. Okay, but here's the actual question. The one that should make you nervous if you're a fan of anyone else left in this bracket. Is this Mexico team just good, or is it different? Because there's a history here, and it's not exactly inspiring. The bar for Mexico has never just been show up and host a nice tournament. Quarterfinals in 1970. Quarterfinals again in 1986. That's the ceiling. Over 50 years of hosting World Cups on home soil. And they've never broken through it. Not once. And 2022 didn't help the narrative group stage exit in Qatar. First time since 1990 they've failed to get out. Fans furious. That same tired story about El Tri choking at the exact same stage no matter who's coaching or who's on the roster. So why does this version feel different? Because the spine of this team is genuinely unlike anything Mexico has ever fielded. On one end, you've got Guillermo Ochoa, 6th World Cup. 6th, a national record. This man has been doing this since prime Cristiano was still playing for United the first time around. On the complete other end of the spectrum, Raúl Jiménez, 35 years old, 4th World Cup. And his story should honestly stop you mid-scroll if you don't know it already. November 2020, he fractured his skull on the pitch. Doctors weren't sure he was playing football again, period, let alone for his country on home soil at a World Cup. 5.5 years later, he's rising above a South African defender to head home Mexico's second goal of the tournament. That's not a goal. That's a guy answering a question doctors were scared to even ask out loud. And now the part I promised you at the very start. Gilberto Mora, 17 years old, came off the bench in the 65th minute against South Africa, and in that exact moment, became the youngest player to ever appear in a World Cup match for Mexico, breaking a record that had survived since 1930, 96 years. That record watched the Great Depression happen and didn't budge once. Mora erased it on his World Cup debut. He's also the youngest player at the entire tournament. Every nation, every squad, 1,200 plus players, and he's the baby of all of them. Here's the detail that should genuinely scare teams left in this competition. If Mora scores even one single goal before Mexico is out, he moves into second place on the all-time list of youngest World Cup goal scorers ever. The only name ahead of him on that list is Pelé, 1958 World Cup, for Brazil, the greatest of all time. That's the company a 17-year-old kid is currently keeping. And it's not just the age that's wild, it's how he actually plays. Scouts describe his head as constantly on a swivel before the ball even arrives, scanning, deciding, processing under World Cup pressure like it's nothing. Across every under-21 player in Liga MX the last 2 seasons, against guys with years more experience, Mora leads the league in goals, game-winning goals, expected goals, and final third passes completed. Leads in all 4 categories. And Santiago Jimenez, his own teammate, told a story about catching Mora reading an actual book on the team bus while everyone else was glued to their phones. And just going, this guy is different. The tape backs it up completely. So put it all together for a second. A 6-time World Cup goalkeeper anchoring the back. A 35-year-old striker playing with house money after a career-threatening injury. A teenager already in Pelé conversations after 1 substitute appearance. A midfield that just put up 105 line breaks in a single match. And a program that clinched its knockout spot before any other team on the planet. This tournament, out of 48 nations. The historical ceiling at home has been quarterfinals twice across 56 years and never once broken. This is, statistically and on the pitch, the most loaded version of this team Mexico has fielded in that entire stretch. So here's what I'll leave you with. If Mexico's ceiling at home has always been the quarterfinals, what happens when this is the best, deepest, most dangerous Mexico squad in over 4 decades? Because right now on the pitch, in the data, in every number we just went through, this is not the same Mexico.